We are live. Welcome to the process. It is Tuesday, November 23rd. I am Josh Engelman. We're here to break down an easy one. 4-game NBA slate. This is going to be pretty tame because tomorrow we really let it rip with 13. So we might want to just start the Wednesday show immediately after this one ends. But before we do anything, please hit that like button if you can. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Give a shout out to PrizePicks. We'll talk about them in a second. But I see all the people here. Good morning to Philip and Steve, Jay, Justin, 8-Game, BP, the Bionic Milkman, Nick Stam, Davey, Dennis. Good morning, everybody. It's good to see everybody. Love to see all the coffee cups. I don't know much about yesterday's slate. It was at arm's length for me, but we certainly have plenty to talk about today. Nice little 4-gamer, calm. Shouldn't be too bad. You'll get me for Contenders video, strategy show, and live before lock today, so that'll be a good time. Sherman, glad you had a good day. Ken, good morning. It's going to be a good one. I'm very excited to get into my coffee. That much I can tell you. Feels like it's going to be delicious. Not the best slate in the world today, but nothing too crazy. At least the Miami game is in Detroit. That should help. Let's see, who was the highest scorer yesterday? I didn't really see much of anything, but I do have it here. So Terry Rozier had a pretty big day. Am I reading that correctly? I reckon I am. LaMelo went for 60 on FanDuel and DraftKings, I guess. DeJounte, okay. Would have been an interesting day. Desmond Bane with a big 40-burger. Okay. Derek White, that would have been interesting. Yeah, no LBJ and Stewart, that's for sure. Saw that they both got their suspensions, which does not surprise me at all. Thought LeBron might get out of it, but you never know. Well, that's probably enough. I don't have much of an intro for today. Normally we could chat it up and go, but with not having anything to do with the NBA yesterday, what I'm going to do is just say, grab your coffees, rise and grind. If you don't have coffee, you know the drill. Water, tea, beers, shots, whatever you can find for yourself on this lovely Tuesday. Cheers to you. Good luck today. Let's win some money. That is delectable. BP, how does Stewart get 2 games and LeBron get 1? Because LeBron didn't do anything after it happened, and Stewart went insane, including trying to go back after him twice and then again in the locker room. So, can't be doing that. LeBron fouled him, apologized immediately. Look, it wasn't good. LeBron should get it, but I mean, he de-escalated the situation immediately. It's got to be Stewart getting more. You know what isn't de-escalated? I don't even know. This isn't a good transition. Shout out to PrizePicks for being the presenting sponsor of this video. Make sure you guys are, 1, signing up at PrizePicks if you haven't done it already. 2, make sure you're using the Awesemo promo code, AWESEMO. That will get you a 100% instant match deposit bonus of up to $100. It doesn't get much better than that. You put in 100, they match with 100. We have tons of tools on the website that can help you out. Our player prop tools lay everything out that you could possibly want for PrizePicks. You cannot beat it. It's all free on our website, at least in terms of the player prop tool. So what's not to like? $100 free on your $100 deposit and the ability to use everything we have at Awesemo. Go ahead and check it out. All right, 4 games. 13 of them tomorrow, so this is going to feel very nice. Hold'em King, good morning. We're diving in. Miami, 9.5 point favorite in Detroit, 207 total. And first thing we want to do is just check and see who's in and out. Q tag on Duncan Robinson, still no Keefe. Obviously, still no Victor Oladipo. On the Detroit side, this one's pretty easy. No Killian Hayes, going to be out for 2 games. No Isaiah Stewart. No Kelly Olynyk, which means Detroit is going to be a bit of a problem today. They don't have centers. We can kind of count Luke Garza and Trey Lyles, but they are thin in the front court. This one is going to get very, very interesting. Now, from a Miami perspective, this should go pretty quickly. I have to give Tyler Hero the minutes back that he didn't have the last time that I was doing this. Bam in for 34. Let's go 33 and 15 here. Actually, they're not splitting this time right now. Have they been? Bam, Dedmon, yes. Bam, Dedmon, yes. Okay, so they are when it matters, I guess. Maybe we can take 2 minutes there and bump those to the tuck wagon. Give him 30. Butler in for 36. That's just got to be what it is. Caleb Martin in for 18, yes. Kyle Lowry in for 34, yes. That doesn't really leave me with the correct amount of minutes for Tyler Hero, so I guess they got to come from somewhere. Maybe we take Duncan Robinson to 28, which effectively removes him from my ability to get him. Max Strus, I guess, is the guy that needs the cut, but I mean, he's played 20 plus minutes in all of these games. So I got to look at these Miami rotations for a second. So Miami played here against Washington. Competitive game. Did Bam get in foul trouble here? 1. No. So no. So Max Strus's rotations are super normal. But he's also... Okay, so now he's on there with Dedmon then. I guess it's Dedmon that should be getting the giant minutes haircut, and that will open up a little bit more for Tyler Hero. Dedmon 9 minutes in the last 2 games. Matchup against Detroit where he's super not necessary. Let's go back down to 10. That gets me 3 extra minutes. That can get Tyler Hero up to 31, which I think will make the most sense. Bang. Yeah, there we go. Because I think I want to keep Max Strus at 20. I think they're trying to play him there. So I think that should cover me for Miami. I probably need to touch on their rates, and since it's a 4-game slate, there's no real reason to not do that. Oh boy. Last night was good. I had some incredible Vietnamese food. Lots of mushrooms. Not the good kind, but, the good kind. Scallops. Zucchini. Nice soy broth. Good stuff. All right. Bam usage rate on this season. 27. JB. 29.5. Kyle Lowry. 17.8. I think we're about good here. This is a very difficult team to project. I guess I got to bump Tyler Hero's rate up too. Like, this is a 4-game slate, and I'm only going to really get to Bam, Butler, and Lowry, which is wild. But here's where it's all going to break down. Ooh. You know what time it is, guys? It's time to let the dog into the room. Let me go let him into my wife's room. Maybe introduce the dog. There's too many people in my house right now to be trying to drag him into my office. We'll get him in here on one day. He won't care at all. Here's what we'll do. I'll make this easier. Best I can hope for. Oh no, I tweeted out a picture on his birthday like 2 weeks ago. If anybody wants to see the dog, it's on my Twitter account. Let's look at Detroit. This one's going to be really difficult. I got to gut this entire rotation because with no Killian Hayes, no Isaiah Stewart, this is not going to be easy to figure out, and it's going to create a giant problem for value today. Dennis, I have a boxer and a pug, but the boxer is the one that was outside the office. He wakes up with me, comes downstairs, goes out, eats, I make coffee, I come back up. He usually lays on the couch for a little bit and then inevitably comes up once I start this show. And then I hear him coming up the steps, and then I just let him into my bedroom. All right, so, man, this is going to be really hard. All right, so we had no Killian Hayes this last time out. We got 38 minutes of Corey Joseph. I don't know how true that's going to be, so I'm going to give him 30 to start. I don't want to overproject anybody out of the gate, and we'll see how many guys we have left. So Corey Joseph in immediately for 30. I'm going to give Cade... Well, actually, we need to think about who they have available. Saban Lee is up now, correct? Yes. Probably could have just looked at the minutes. Oh, no, he didn't actually play. All right, so I know that they're going to go to some Jeremy Grant at the 5. And in this spot, that's actually like okay-ish against Bam. Not like he's going to be it's a good spot, but he can handle some of that. So it feels like they're going to have to start Trey Lyles just to make the staggers work. So I'm going to say 22 minutes for Trey Lyles, 14 minutes for Luka Garza, and then Jeremy Grant playing the other 12 plus 24 more, so 36 total. Which is going to have to put Sadiq Bey at the 4. Let's look at the actual positional breakdown, because the Pistons have so many dudes that I think are just the same I know, I need to bring the dog in for good luck. He's already in the bed. I love that dog. More than like pretty much anything in my world. All right, Pistons, we need to take off. There might not be a ton of time here. Why can't I remember his name already? Oh, yeah. Stewart, Beef Stew. We'll take off Kelly O. Rest of it looks fine. I just want to know what that positional breakdown is. So it's Trey Lyles, Jeremy Grant, Luka Garza. We know that much. Sadiq Bey is ahead of everybody else from a size perspective. So he's going to get the rest of those minutes at the 4. Up to 34. We're going to need to give Frank Jackson minutes next, I believe. He's been playing like a pretty consistent 26 as of late. So let's do something like that. Then we'll get Cade up to his 34 if this is competitive. That's got us to 7 guys. I guess the goal is going to be 9, which means we still have Josh Jackson, potentially Sabin Lee, and Hamidou Diallo. Diallo played 21 minutes this last time out, and I have read some things that said they're trying to get him some more minutes. So let's see if we take him to 22 and Josh Jackson to 22. I mean, he hasn't... I don't really think there's any reason to think he plays 22. So I'm going to go 16 and maybe 1 rotation to Sabin Lee. Honestly, Rodney Magruder is the guy that they should be playing. Why do the Pistons even have Rodney Magruder? He's a dude that does not make sense on this team. Do they dust off Sabin Lee? That's the real question here. Or do they go to just a straight... They might just go to a straight 9-man rotation. Feels more likely that they bring in a 10th guy here. So let's do that. So this is the Pistons rotation. We need to... I mean, I guess I don't really need to change rates. It's not like Isaiah Stewart is some driver of volume. Crispy, what's up, man? What's up? Whoa, 72 viewers, 53 likes. I think on these shorter slates, we really see the like to viewer ratio concentrate. I think we've got a pretty good core when it's not a monster slate. Yeah, so like we're taking a bunch of guys off. Honestly, it is kind of interesting in that we're taking off Killian Hayes and Isaiah Stewart, 2 guys that don't have particularly high usage rates, but I don't have much else I want to change. Caden for 26. We want to make sure that we hit all these guys in order. Jeremy Grant, 26.5. Corey Joseph is going to be important. 15% usage rate on the season. 7.5% assist rate. So I think that's about where he's going to be. Sadiq Bey, the other key piece, 21% usage rate. We'll pop that in. That'll make him look a little bit more appealing. He can't buy a bucket this year. Might need to do a little bit more creation. Trey Lyles will be interesting. He's played 248 minutes so far for the Pistons, 21.5% usage rate. I can't go to that, particularly in this case, but I will put him in for what his normal usage rate is. Then we get to Frank Jackson and Hamidou Diallo. Frank Jackson's been like a 19% usage rate guy so far this season. Seems about right to me. Hamidou Diallo, 17% usage rate guy. I think that seems about right. I don't have anything else to really change here. So let's look at this game for the first time. And for Miami, we know what we're doing. Jimmy Butler looks pretty good. 10-1 on FanDuel, though. That is a big-time price tag for Butler. 9,700 on DraftKings looks a bit better. Although he is better suited for FanDuel scoring. Bam is 8K on FanDuel. He's going to be either very, very popular or I have way too much. But, I mean, it's sort of just a rates thing. I don't really know what I need to be changing for Bam. He's got a 27% usage rate so far this season. Do I need to adjust assist? Oh, yeah, I forgot to cut his assist rate. I forgot that has gone down dramatically. A rebounding rate, though, is up, correct? Neutral enough. Either way, 8K Bam on FanDuel looks great. And then we've got Kyle Lowry at 6,800 on FanDuel, 7,700 on DraftKings. He hasn't been fantastic this year, about 0.9 fantasy points per minute, but still good. I don't know how you get to anything else. Like, do I like Hero? Sure. Could he have a big game? Sure. I don't know if he's someone that I'm really going to get to, though, if he plays 31 minutes. But the big piece that we care about, though, is Detroit. Well, that's a 20-minute game start, but I think it matters for today. Sadiq Bey on FanDuel at 5,700 is my favorite Piston on that site. Corey Joseph works as a value play. Jeremy Grant, Cade Cunningham, both okay. I would have assumed like Trey Lyles or Luka Garza could start popping in, but they don't. It's a little bit more like Trey Lyles is the flat 3K on DraftKings. That opens up, especially with power forward center eligibility. Anxious to talk to Adam about it. If we're talking DK, though, there's just a little bit more value for the Pistons. Jeremy Grant, 7K, Cade Cunningham, 7,400, and Sadiq Bey, 6K. All three look pretty similar. I don't really have much else I would want to change there. And then Corey Joseph for 3,900. There's more value for the Pistons on DraftKings than there is on FanDuel tonight. So be aware of that. All right, next up, moving on to game number 2, Lakers and Knicks. Lakers are 3.5-point underdogs in New York, 214 total. And we kind of know how to project this Lakers team with no LeBron James. Still no Trevor Ariza, no Kendrick Nunn, Austin Reeves, doubtful. But we've seen so much Lakers without LeBron that this should be really easy to do. We don't have a ton of questions. And the first thing we're going to do is obviously take out LeBron's minutes. We're going to give... They've been playing DeAndre Jordan a little bit more. So I am going to give him, I don't know, 10 minutes. And then we've got Dwight in for 12 minutes. I'm fine with it. Actually, let's do 12 and 12. Just to be safe. And then still... Whoop, got that backwards. 36 minutes for AD. We've got 35 minutes in for Russ. Seems fine. Rondo, I mean, was playing a little bit more when LeBron was out. So let's do straight backup run to Rondo. Talen Horton-Tucker in the final 2 games with LeBron out played monstrous minutes. I'm going to take him up to 34. I don't want to go too crazy on him. Ellington is just now down, but when LeBron wasn't there, he was playing more. I don't know why that would be the case. Melo up to 30 seems pretty real. Avery Bradley seems pretty fixed into like the 24-ish range. So maybe something like that. I guess I'm going to knock Wayne Ellington's minutes down to like 18. That leaves me 10 additional minutes. In the final game before LeBron came back, they played 11 guys. So do they go back to Bazemore for 10 minutes? I'm going to say that they do. Now let's make these rate changes for no LeBron, which is easy. And I assume Russ's price on FanDuel is going to be appealing. Let's take Brown off. So first rate, AD. This season, no LeBron. 29% usage rate. Every other rate is sort of the same. Plays a little bit more at center, so his offensive rebounding rate goes up a bit. Russ, 31.9% usage rate in 402 minutes without LeBron. I'm going to go up to 31.5. Assist rate takes a pretty big hit. Rebounding rate down a little bit as well. Then Talen Horton-Tucker in 130 minutes, 24.5% usage rate. I'm not going to do that, but I am going to keep him at his normal 22. He's going to pop a lot on FanDuel today. Not doing much else. I definitely need to reduce his assist rate. And I think everything else can hold. I have to check Melo. 18% usage rate when LeBron is off. I'm going to take that down to 20. Actually, we'll take it to 19. I do want him to be available. Everybody else is just not available there. Then we move it on to the Knicks. Do we know anything interesting for the Knicks? No Mitchell Robinson from the concussion. Q tag on Rose. Doubtful tag on Taj Gibson. That is interesting for someone, I don't know, like we might see more Randall at the 5. It's a tricky spot. So let's get Mitchell Robinson out of there. Let's get Taj Gibson out of there. We saw Mitchell Robinson not play this last game. We got 26 minutes out of Nerlens Noel. He played 29 the game before that. And we haven't had Taj in either one of those. So, and I haven't seen much of this. So I think 27 minutes for Nerlens Noel is about the best that we can hope for here. Based on these rotations, I guess we're getting Julius Randle as the backup 5. Did they stagger a lot last time out? Well, it's Houston, so no one actually gives a shit. All right, this is the Bulls. So we'll see. They certainly went to Randle at the 5. So we got Noel here. They subbed out. We got Barrett, Randle, Burks, Rose quickly. Yep, so it's just Randle. That's all I'm worried about. So Randle gets 21 here, plus another 15, all the way up to 36. Yeah. I mean, there's a logistical limit you can go to on Noel on a day where he's going to have to eat AD for 36 minutes. Obi Toppin just really doesn't get more minutes in any of these scenarios. It's kind of crazy. I'm going to give him 15, though. Just a slight increase. We kind of know what we're getting out of Kemba and Rose. I think, something in the neighborhood of 24 for Kemba, 24 for Rose makes the most sense. We got RJ Barrett playing, 32 minutes in a competitive game. We've got Quickly playing a little bit more. He's played 20 plus minutes in his last 6 games. I think we're maybe looking at like 24 again here. Because we still got a ton of time to go. Alec Burks has been playing over 20 minutes in his last 8. He's averaging about 25. I'm going to give him 26. I don't know who's playing these fake minutes at the 4, but somebody has to. Evan Fournier. Minutes are all over the place. I will get to him at 27 minutes. I see no reason that he can't play 27 minutes. So I'm going to keep that, actually. We're going to go 14 and 13. That leaves me 5 extra, which I think I might just throw it like Kevin Knox or Jericho. Maybe Jericho Sims just gets 5 and we make it easy. This is going to be a pretty gnarly Knicks team. There's a lot more here than I was expecting. All right, so Rose usage rate, that's easy. Fournier usage rate, that's fine. Julius Randle's been at 28%. That's fine. Kemba 21. Sure. RJ Barrett 22.5. Sure. Not too much that we really need to change here. Nerlens Noel, I assume, has a very minimal usage rate that I don't have to touch. Alec Burks, I probably want to work on. He's been at 18 this year, which is kind of weird for him, but it's fine. And then quickly, 20.5. That looks fine to me. We're not going to get the top in our sim, so it doesn't matter. Lots to like here from this Knicks team. There's a lot of value coming in here. What is that alert? Oh, pet steps are coming. Okay. All right, so for the Lakers, Anthony Davis, I love 10-5 on FanDuel, 10-9 on DraftKings. We're talking about a guy that's been a 1.43 FanDuel point per minute guy over the last 30 days. I have him slightly higher than that for today. Russ, 9,900 on FanDuel, 10-5 on DraftKings. I like him more on FanDuel than I do on DK, but I like him either way. And then Talen Horton-Tucker is 6K on FanDuel, 5,900 on DraftKings, shooting guard, small forward eligible. Just a really good play. You can get to some mellow. It's just not going to be a great treat for you. By the way, 7 o'clock, 89 concurrent viewers, 82 likes. Holy shit. 83 likes. Holy shit. You guys are the best. Thanks for hitting that like button. I can't even ask. Can we get the likes over the viewers? Do we have some in here that people have already left? That'd be fun. All right, for the Knicks, $8,400 Julius Randle. What in the world is he priced for on FanDuel? That's insane. Oh yeah, Dwayne Moody. That's a great point. Let me look at that. I know I have it here. Wendell Carter Jr., 27.6 fantasy points. There we go. More than 20. I always love to see it. Randall's price is fully broken on FanDuel. He's going to be one of the most popular guys on the slate, for sure. 10K on DraftKings isn't even a problematic price on a day like today. You're going to have some guys around him that just look better, but it's not like it's wrong. RJ Barrett for 5,700 and 5,600. He's been bad this year, but the eligibility looks a little bit better. Nerlens Noel, 4,800 and 4,200. Yeah, circling through Noel, Fournier, Burks. I mean, even on DraftKings, Rose or Quickly, you're going to want to set some groups on DK and think about who can be on a closing lineup together, but the Knicks look really good today. Oh, there it is. We got it. I wanted to get a screenshot of this. Look at that. 90 concurrent viewers, 94 likes. I have more likes on this video than I have active viewers. Yeah, there you go, Bob. Welcome back. The troll is here. The troll is here. On to Denver. 2 games to go. Denver Nuggies. I hit a 45th percentile outcome on Wendell Carter Jr. Yours was 15th or so. 10th. 100 likes, 92 viewers. You guys are the absolute best. That's some fun stuff. Let's check out Denver. Nuggets, Q tag on Jokic. That will obviously be massive. Michael Porter Jr., we might not see again this year, which is kind of a bummer. Jamal Murray out for ages. No Bones Highland. No Zeke Naji. Lots of weird stuff going on. Let's read into a little bit of Jokic here, because clearly that's going to have a major effect on today's slate, and it doesn't help that this game starts at 10 o'clock. Bob, I'll never care about anything you have to say. I promise you. Let's see. What do we know? Harrison Wind. Have you talked about Jokic at all other than just saying that he's questionable? Nope. Nope. All right, well, I'm just going to assume that Nikola Jokic is playing until he's not, because we don't really have a choice. And I'll probably set the same rule I did the last time, which would be to guarantee that I have and it won't matter on a 4-gamer, but make sure you have at least one other guy, at least on FanDuel, in a lineup with Jokic, because clearly there's enough, like, whether you want to get to Dame or, Luka if he's in. I don't know if his status is in or not yet. Or like Paul George. You just need to leave yourself an out to move that salary around. So let's assume that Jokic plays today. And it's a wrist injury, so it's not like I expect anything to change from a minutes perspective. I'm going to give him 35 minutes like he would play in a competitive game. JaMychal Green plays the backup run. Jeff Green playing 28 minutes or so seems about right. 29, 28, 28 works. Actually, I'm just going to clear out the rest of this. I think it's going to be a little bit easier. So 28 in for Jeff Green. I know Monty Morris is dealing with a bit of a knock, but I think he's got to play 30 minutes in a competitive game. Right. All right. So Monty Morris, good. Campazzo, in the 2 games that Jokic has been out, is playing a bit more. I don't know if we should assume that continues, but we do have to fill the minutes of Bones Highland in some way. So let's finish off the rest of these guys. 34 minutes for Aaron Gordon seems about right. So Aaron Gordon in for 34. Jeff Green in for 28. Should Jeff Green be 30? It should be 30. It just needs to be. Will Barton is going to play 34 minutes in a competitive game. And again, we have no reason to suspect that these games wouldn't be competitive. So that leaves me 64 minutes for Austin Rivers, PJ Dozier, and Facundo Campazzo. Dozier seems pretty set to just play 22 minutes in perpetuity. So that leaves me 42 minutes for Campazzo and Rivers. Rivers, in the 2 games that didn't have Jokic, played about 30 in each. He was playing north of 20 in the 3 games previous to that. When Barton came back, he dropped to 20. But now we have no Bones Highland. If we assume Morris, Gordon, Jokic, Jeff Green, I don't think any of this is really going to matter. I'm going to say that Facundo Campazzo plays the backup run at point guard, and Austin Rivers gets 24 minutes at shooting guard. That feels about as close as I can hope for. I don't really see a way to project Campazzo for more minutes. That seems less likely than Rivers playing them. All right, so from a rates perspective, I don't think we have anything else to change. Oh, no, these are going to be all without Jokic, because obviously. So let's fix the rate for Denver. But by the way, you guys are the best. 100+ viewers and hitting that 100 and like mark before that is kind of wild. Let's take Porter off. Let's plug in all of these rates. We're taking our sweet time today, but I'm happy about it. So if Jokic is playing, 35% usage rate in 234 minutes without Michael Porter Jr. on the schedule. I'm going to give him a 34% usage rate. I'm going to dial it down a little bit. I mean, he's averaging 1.93 fantasy points per minute. All the other rates stay the same, except for the fact that his rebounding rate goes through the roof as well. So we're going to be playing a ton of Jokic if he plays. Will Barton, 22% usage rate. All the other rates sort of look okay, but let's get him up to that 22 mark. Monty Morris, 18% usage rate, so that just sort of holds. Jeff Green, 16% usage rate. That's just business as usual for him. Aaron Gordon, 19.7. So we can keep him in his normal spot. I think we're good here. So that'll be Denver if he's in. Then we go to Portland. This one, I believe, should just be really easy. Yeah, no changes. I don't even have rate changes to make here. I don't think, at least. But let's look at the minutes just in case. We don't want to be asleep at the wheel here. 37 for Dame, 37 for CJ. Yeah, that's pretty much par for the course. Simon's in for 23 is probably too many. Tony Snell is getting a small rotation. Cody Zeller continues to get a smaller rotation. So we'll take that down to 10. We're gonna move some of these minutes around here. 26 for Nurk. Probably not, huh? 24 for Nurk. Larry Nance is playing like 22 minutes a game. We got Covington in for 22. Nas Little in for what should be 22. So let's move. Let's do that. Tony Snell can get up to 10. Norm Powell at 30. Should that be more? We'll go 31. Simon's 21. So who's not getting these minutes that I should be getting minutes to? I'm just going to give them to Tony Snell. That way I don't have to worry about anyone mattering, because it's not like Tony Snell at 14 minutes is ever going to get playing time. Rates, though, will stay the same. I don't have any changes to make here. So let's look at Portland and Denver. And again, this is Denver assuming Nikola Jokic plays. 11-3 on FanDuel, 11-4 on DraftKings. I think he's still going to look great. I got him at 1.66 fantasy points per minute, which is actually lower than what he's been doing this season. Still looks fantastic. Should have enough value to get there, too. Aaron Gordon on FanDuel at 6,200. Will Barton on FanDuel at 6,500. Monty Morris and Jeff Green on DraftKings from value. We're all right. Portland side. By the way, Denver, 5.5 point dogs, 212 total. Dame, 8,800 on FanDuel. That is slowly climbing, but looks good. 9,600 on DraftKings works. CJ for 7,600 and 7,800 is fine. 5K Norm Powell on DraftKings is interesting. There's always a ceiling game for Nurkic available. He's still a 1.3 fantasy point per minute guy. You just don't know how long he's going to be out on the floor. Maybe he plays more against Jokic today. I think that's a thing that could happen. I might want to give him an extra minute just so like he shows up a little bit more aggressively. Yeah, that'll be fine. Let's close it out now. Dallas and the Clippers. For Dallas, I think we know what we have here. Q tag on Luka. Maxi's probable. No Frankie Smokes. What do we know about Luka? Aggravated his left knee and ankle while running through a scrimmage after Monday's practice. I'm going to assume, based on this news, that he might have injured it again on Monday's practice. I'm going to assume that I'm not putting Luka Doncic back into this game, which I know is probably not the best idea, but they are not going to rush him back. He's already missed 3, so I am taking him. Well, I'm not going to take him out. I'm just going to leave him out. Tim Hardaway in for 34 minutes. I'm going to make that 35. We're going to have some to go around, too. Jalen Brunson in for 35. Yep. 13 to Trey Burke. Yep. So we got Tim Hardaway's minutes right. Dwight Powell, nothing's really changed there. He's playing like 21. Porzingis is obviously playing, something in the 30s. I got him in for 33. I'm going to make it 32. Willie Cauley-Stein gets a rotation. So everything seems fine there. I'm going to take out Reggie Bullock's minutes. Dorian Finney-Smith in for 32. Oh, we got to wait. We got Maxey coming back. He played 20 minutes on Sunday. I don't think that he's going to play too much more than that, so we're going to give him 22 there. That takes us back up to 32 for DFS. Reggie Bullock in these past 3 games has averaged 28 minutes. That seems fine. And that leaves me 14 for whatever we want to say is taking Frank Ntilikina's minutes, which I guess is just going to pretty easily be Sterling Brown. Rates should all be the same because I didn't have Luka in before. And then we move to the Clippers. Final team for today's slate. I can already feel tomorrow's 13 gamer like weighing on me. On the Clips, no Batum, which I didn't know. Obviously no Kawhi. Marcus Morris, probable. So let's take Batum's minutes out. We've got Marcus Morris back. I don't imagine he's going to play a ton, but he can. I got 28 minutes in for Zubats against Dallas. That's fine. We'll go, especially with no Luka. He's a little bit more important. Isaiah Hartenstein did not get that same sort of time because Serge Ibaka is also available again. So let's start thinking about how that's going to impact people. Amir Coffey continues to play, although I think that might look a little bit different now. We've got 35 minutes in for Reggie Jackson. That seems fine. We've got 30 minutes in for Eric Bledsoe. That is too high. Eric Bledsoe, I think, should probably be 28. I got 28 for Terrence Mann. I want to make that 27. So we got a lot of time around here for the Clippers. I definitely don't want to see Mark Jackson. That much I can tell you, Theodore. All right. Serge is going to play, I'm going to say 12 minutes. Which sort of makes it difficult for Hartenstein, even though he's been really good. But if Serge is going to be back and playing, Hartenstein's just going to play less minutes. Especially now with Marcus Morris back, too. Now, I don't expect Marcus Morris to play a ton of time, but 20 minutes seems reasonable. $36 minutes for Paul George is just a guarantee when it's competitive. Does Amir Coffey play 18 minutes? I got Kennard in for 28. That seems fine. In theory, Justice Winslow could also play. Clippers are starting to get a few too many dudes. I'm going to give Amir Coffey these 18 minutes. This one's going to be an important one to talk through with Adam on the strategy show. Honestly, JJ, I honestly don't know. Like, Hartenstein should just play the backup center run, but they got to give Serge Ibaka minutes. Marcus Morris can obviously play the 5. In theory, Justice Winslow against this team can play the 5. So I'm going to hash through that one with Adam later. Dallas, though. Jalen Brunson, 7,200 on FanDuel, 7,300 on DraftKings. He is my favorite Maverick. Tim Hardaway, 5,600 on FanDuel would be 2. Porzingis is 8,800 and 8,500. That would be 3. And then Dorian Finney-Smith for 4K on DraftKings. I mean, is there anything that I can do with Tim Hardaway's rates to slow him down from popping up like that? I don't think that there is. I mean, Tim Hardaway Jr. with no Luka Doncic on the floor. I guess I could refresh those rates. That's probably something I could take a look at because they've played so much more time without him. So Tim Hardaway Jr., 23.5% usage rate with no Luka. Way big time assist rate bump, however. So let's bump that up. And rebounding bump. We get Reggie Bullock, 15% usage rate, I assume is just sort of what it is. Yeah. Porzingis, in the 151 minutes without him, 30% usage rate. We'll bump that up to 25. Jalen Brunson, 27% usage rate and a massive assist rate. So I'm going to get even more Brunson than I thought I was, which I'm fine with. And then Dorian Finney-Smith, 14% usage rate. Fine. Dwight Powell. Sure. Yeah, so Tim Hardaway Jr. looking really good on FanDuel today, and on DraftKings for that matter. On the Clippers side, 9,200 on FanDuel for Paul George. Sign me up for that. 6K and 6,100 for Reggie Jackson across both sites is fine. 5,100 for Zubats on DraftKings is fine. Might see a little Terrence Mann as well. We're done. Let us run some crunches. Ooh. So yeah, contenders videos, strategy show. We'll be live before locking it as well. A lot's coming out from me today. It's going to be a long day, but at least there's only 4 games for it. All right, optimal lineups on FanDuel. If you haven't hit the like button yet, go ahead and do so. Jalen Brunson, Corey Joseph, Talen Horton-Tucker, Tim Hardaway Jr., Sadiq Bey, Alec Burks, AD, Randall, and Bam. Sure. I don't have like a natural problem with that. You get one pay up option. It's very, very balanced build. Looks fine to me. You can drop down 1 full point. You swap out Talen Horton-Tucker for Paul George, and then you turn Bam into Nerlens Noel. Power rankings, on the other hand, I think are going to look a little bit different. Looks like Tim Hardaway Jr. is probably going to be my number 1 contender. Maybe Brunson catches him. Maybe AD catches him. Feels like Tim Hardaway Jr., though, is pulling away. How is he? What are his game logs looking like in those 3 games? 35, 27, 21. He's 5,600. So we're looking for, something around 38. I think that's fine. That's reasonable. Tim Hardaway Jr. at the top of the power rankings. AD, Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle, Bam, Bey, Barrett, THT, Reggie Jackson, Jokic, Aaron Gordon, Corey Joseph, Russ PG. Okay. Well, that's where we stand on FanDuel. Where do we stand on DraftKings now? DraftKings optimal. What do we got? Oh boy. Okay, this one I didn't see coming. Emmanuel Quickly, Alec Burks, RJ Barrett, Sadiq Bey, Jokic, Hardaway, THT, Brunson. Not so sure I feel great about Quickly sneaking his way into my optimal. You can drop down 0.2 of a fantasy point and get a very different lineup. Quickly out, Reggie Jackson in. RJ Barrett out. We're swapping RJ. We're swapping Quickly, RJ Barrett, Sadiq Bey for Reggie Jackson, Trey Lyles, and Yusuf Nurkic. I don't like either one of those 2 optimals, and the 4th one has 4 Pistons. DraftKings looks really hard today. Let's look at these power rankings, which might be nausea-inducing. And really, I appreciate having everybody here. These 4-game slates don't get the same sort of crowd, but man, everybody that's here right now, you guys have become like the loyal listeners. Getting 130 people together at 6:30 in the morning to watch me prep a 4-game NBA slate, it's honestly, I'm pretty proud of it. All right, on DraftKings, Tim Hardaway Jr., Jalen Brunson, Nikola Jokic, Reggie Jackson, RJ Barrett, Sadiq Bey, Cade Cunningham, Alec Burks, Jeremy Grant, Jimmy Butler, Trey Lyles, Talen Horton-Tucker, Randall, Powell, AD, Quickly, Fournier. The Knicks are going to be tough. That's going to be a spot where you really need to focus on groups and limiting yourself to only guys. I don't want to say only guys that can close, but not getting too many guys that can have the potential to not close. Well, folks, I think that we are done here. Another process show in the books. So, full schedule for today, full schedule for tomorrow as well. Process show, contenders, strategy show. No live before lock for me tomorrow. Probably not playing the slate. You know, I got a lot of family in town already for Thanksgiving. 13 games means if I want to play, I got to sit down at 5 o'clock before lock and then be around for news all the way till 10 o'clock. So I think I'll play. I'm 100% playing tonight. I'll probably not play tomorrow. There is no basketball on Thursday, so you just get NFL content from me. And then Friday is an 10-game slate or an 11-game slate. There's a morning game on Friday. They play, well, not morning, but they play at 3:30. And then we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So we got an 11-game slate on Friday that I will probably also not be a part of. So it's a pretty tame week for me for Thanksgiving just because I have so many people in town. But that's where we stand, everybody. That's all I got here. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I appreciate having you guys. Thank you for hitting the like button so much so that we were able to get to 138 likes and 120 plus concurrent viewers. You guys are the absolute best. We'll be back again tomorrow doing the same thing we always do here on The Process. Rise and grind, everybody. Good luck. Win some money. Talk to you in the morning.